On all fours, on my desk, on my last real breath, I blink rapidly, hoping for an axe, a howitzer, a force field, a Nerf gun, anything to protect myself against the new alien invaders whose story I've wished to complete. But nothing comes to my aid. I cannot even wish for Malevecore away, because deep down, I know I don't want to. For too good of an idea. So I close my eyes and wait for the end. Wait to be put out of my misery, to get out of my own creative hell. Now what have I imagined? I yell out in frustration as machine gun fire cuts through space, bouncing off the Malevecore hides like ping-pong balls. More annoyed than anything else, the Malevecore turn to see my mysterious saviour. I wish it was the saviour, but it's the complete opposite. I turn to see my other creation pop his assault rifle back under his trench coat, swapping it for a handful of grenades as he sings eerily, "Lovely Malevecore having a ball." The grenades lose their pins before the newcomer flings them in the alien's direction. Seconds later, they explode in a cosmic funeral pyre, dispersing the vortex completely, and the species altogether, it would seem. The explosion propels me far away, smashing through the border of space like glass. "Lovely Malevecore, blood on the wall," sings the man who's propelled along with me into something that now looks like the side of a hypnotic yo-yo. I look to the side to get a proper look at my other creation. The man clad in a bodysuit as grey as the writer's block itself. Grey trench coat, grey gloves and boots, and wearing a grey, featureless mask. That grey man. That grey man. Overlord's imagination and dreary man. He rhymes with hands behind head, resting as we spiral uncontrollably. Can't put the Malevecore back together again. "Hello, Nameless," I greet with renewed confidence. "Come to wipe out evil with evil in the name of good?" "Of course, Daniel. I'm AIM, therefore I am. We all act to our Creator's wishes, remember?" "Does this mean my story's coming to an end soon?" I yell, as we continue to descend uncontrollably in this hypnotic hellhole. Unnaturally relaxed, Nameless just chuckles. "You love a good to be continued as much as anyone, don't you, Daddy?" "What's happening?" I demand from my creation. "I didn't summon you to my defence. Am I regaining control?" "Your consciousness and subconscious are at war with each other for dominion over your mind," the murderous vigilante explains. "You're directionless over what you've achieved and what you want to achieve. And you're making us, and all who follow your work, as lost as you." "But I want to escape the writer's block. I've done it before. Why can't I do it now?" "Because you've forgotten, through bone idleness, like the Malevecore said. You've let such great concepts and ideas grow cold like a delicious hot meal. The only way you can get back on track is through discipline. And only you can discipline yourself through motivation." "What kind of motivation?" I ask rather stupidly as our fall slows. Our bodies right themselves to a vertical position as we float gently down to a new ground below. Nameless returns his arms to his side and just stares at me like I'm thicker than yellow pages. "You should already know, Lord D.C. Wood of Rycroft." He bows mockingly at me. He's such an evil bastard. And he's right. I should already know. I made Nameless this way. Man of mystery used to pave the way for the future. Nameless points towards a lone podium about half a kilometre away from us. A great big spotlight bathes it and the cushion on top. I can't make out the item on top of it from this distance, so I start my walk towards it. I don't bother looking behind me to give Nameless my thanks. I know he's already gone, retreated deep into the dark recesses of my mind, waiting to come out again for another story I one day hope to write. A creepy, creepy monstrosity, my grey man, my grey man. But one who I found helpful in getting me this far. He'll keep in the drawer until I summon him again, when I figure out how, of course. However, Nameless was right. I should already know what to do. Motivation to see my novel in print, to expose my work to the world online through audiobooks and web cartoons. Those things have driven me to completion in the past. So why am I having trouble finding a new motivation now? What particular goal am I missing to achieve? It's so obvious, yet I can't see it. Contrary to what others think, contrary to what my consciousness and subconscious are proving, my brain is dead. There's no one at the helm. No one aiming this spray of out-of-control gunfire. I may as well be dead. I'm thankful for the trees and buildings popping up out of the ground, like one of Terry Gilliam's old cartoons, as I run nearer to the podium. I run on the pavements of old London town, the night sky and cool climate settling my nerves as I finally start to feel like a normal human again, instead of some mental, untalented lunatic with psychiatric issues. When I make it to the podium, I take a distracting second to appreciate how beautifully chiselled it is. The wonderfully smooth marble, the indented lines, the creamy swirling of mauve and white, the strong weighty form of its structure, how the base's steps lead to a monument with a velvet cushion resting on its top. The way I'm describing even the most unimportant things in this tale, I feel as though I'm starting to get back in control of detail. Then I see what is truly the centre of the spotlight's attention. On top of the cushion is a tray, complete with a food cover resting on a platter, both made of silver. In my excitement and hunger, I remove the cover to see Dad's delicious homemade Thai curry waiting for me. Of all the meals I love, meat and potato pie, lasagna, Indian curry, turkey and stuffing, pizza, etc., this Thai curry means I'm winning. Because I can tell you all, here and now, Thai curry is an instant cure for writer's block. I tuck in, having forgotten just how hungry I am. Those wonderful spices and flavours immediately assault my lazy brain like acid on a slumbering rhino. Seizing the moment, my brain grabs the rope it's been handed, and it climbs out of the fog, empowered by this overwhelming new clarity. Feeling like I can now write War and Peace, and improve on it with some nude pictures and a couple of car chases, like Rick Mail once suggested, I turn away from my now empty platter and solidify the new high with a bottle of Coca-Cola that I've also managed to conjure up. The caffeine consumption is another positive boon. It's one of my favourite stimulants, and the fact that I've wished for it, along with the Thai curry, means that I'm rapidly regaining control. My power over my own imagination is returning to me, though I know that my subconscious isn't going to give up without a fight. I look around me. This feels like London indeed. Believe it or not, I've only been to our magnificent capital twice in real life. Back when I was a child. I'd love to visit it again one day, when I can now truly appreciate it. Yet, I used the setting for the Saviour because it seemed like a natural fit for the characters and story. The surroundings are all the same. I'm now in Soho Square, in awe of the buildings, trees, the park itself, and the statue of King Charles II. It's night time, the stars are twinkling and the air is cool. The spotlight is long gone, as is the marble podium with the meal I ordered. What stops me from foolishly thinking I'm back in the real world is the fact that I'm the only person in Soho Square. There are no cars parked anywhere. No other vehicles, no motorists, no cyclists, no pedestrians, not even dogs walking or birds chirping. I'm the only living creature in this setting. An entire city deserted. No longer riddled with doubt and stress, my mind reshapes into something more decisive. My brain has healed because of the rejuvenation it's had, allowing my consciousness to get back into the driver's seat. I'm certain that I'm no longer in the writer's block, because my whole surroundings have changed from grey clay to vibrant writing. It's a brand new story, but what's motivating me into writing it? What did Nameless know that I didn't? Right in the heart of a square, I stand on another crossroads. Deciding that any direction is at least going somewhere, I move forward, past the half-timbered gardener's hut. My newfound drive makes me forget just how haunting it is for there to be no other living beings or any activity whatsoever in this setting apart from myself. I should be feeling lonely. I felt so lonely this past year many times, but now I feel unstoppable, and it's much more than just that Thai curry I had. I don't run far when I see someone lying on the grass just a few feet to my right. Immediately concerned, I dart over to help. When I reach the body, I gently turn it over to see that he's still all right. More than all right, in fact. A smile spreads across my face as the boy gives a small groan. My son. My creation. 15 years old, in the prime of youth, forever scarred, yet always refusing to cave in. That short black hair, the black t-shirt, trousers, trainers, studded gloves and utility belt, the sword strapped to his back, and the mask to hide his pain. A true survivor, who believes life is always worth living. As I help him sit up, the vigilante's right eye, the only eye his mask shows, opens slowly to see me. His vision blurs and trails as his equilibrium fights to regain control. I know how he feels. "Hello, Jaron." I smile at him. The teenager tilts his head at me, confused. He doesn't recognise me. Unlike before with Nameless and the Malevecore, I'm back in control now of my imagination. With my imagination no longer running wild, I see fit to keep Jaron's confusion under gentle control. His story is in a state of flux at the moment. Unlike my other creations, Jaron is not volatile, and he's so much younger. He shouldn't have to face his creator. Not yet, anyway. I know I didn't summon him. So why is he here? Is Hijax here too? It's my subconscious at work again. It summoned the others. So why has it now brought Jaron into the fold? How do you know? He begins to ask me. As I help him to his feet, I interrupt with, "There's no need for you to know yet. All you need to know that you are Jaron Mahana, who the world will come to know as the Saviour. It's strange," the masked teenager says, hand on head, trying to deal with the same dilemmas I've experienced. The last thing I remember was, "Shh." I hush him. "Spoilers." "Pardon me?" "Spoilers, as River Song quite rightly says. Not everyone knows your story yet. Don't want to spoil any surprises." "My story?" repeats the Saviour, as though those words mean something to him, like he was assigned an important side mission. Looking back up to me, Jaron remembers at last. "Of course! I remember now. I'm supposed to bring you something.